She cooks, she bakes, she blogs. Let's go behind the scenes with a young food blogger. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Passionate Palate, a podcast for food lovers and culinary explorers where we talk about various foods, flavors, and ingredients from around the world. I am your host, Zay. Today, I have a very special guest. She's only 21, but already making huge waves in the food scene. And she's my beautiful daughter-in-law, Sumaiya Ilyas. Assalamu alaikum, Sumaiya.
Walaikum assalam.
Welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's start off. You could tell our listeners a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name is Sumaiya. I'm 21 years old. I'm currently a junior in college. I'm majoring in business management, but I plan to go to law school, hopefully, inshallah.
Awesome.
So things will work out in the future. On my free time, I like to cook. I like to bake now, too. I blog. I'm working on actually a blog website right now, too.
Awesome. Congrats.
And yeah, I just like to spend my free time doing things that I love besides, studying to get into law school.
Awesome. That's wonderful. So let's start at the beginning. How did you get into cooking and baking? Was food always a part of your life growing up?
I think coming from a Desi culture and coming from like a rich background as well, like my mom would always cook home cooked meals. And that was kind of like the spark for me, Seeing her cook those meals was really important. If it wasn't for her cooking, I probably would have no interest in it. But the Pakistani food itself just has such richness to it and just so much to it that you just want to know how it's made. Because like when you compare it to other foods, like there's definitely a huge difference between it. And that's what's so important about it. And that's what I guess sparked my interest in food.
That's so cool. At 21, like most people have, like they're still trying to figure things out, but you've already built a presence in your food blog. What sparked your interest to start a food journey online?
So it actually started after I got married.
Okay.
Exactly. Like I would eat out a lot with my family. I think when I got married though, I started to expand my palate a little bit and try new food places and more like a broader palette of food. And that actually really helped me realize, okay, I have a lot of content on my phone. Like I'm taking pictures of all these foods. I'm taking videos of it too. Why not make something out of this, And then I believe I already have a pretty outgoing personality. So it's like you need to
Yes, you do.
Yeah. You need to have that personality in order to be out there on social media. And that's exactly what I felt I had. I was like, you know what, let me just start this off as something just for fun. And then I think it kind of just turned into more after that.
Nice, because I do see you having, like, you give a pretty good discussion too. Like, it's not like, oh, look at this bagel. It looks pretty. It's like you go into flavor profiling, you go into like the way you look at it. So it's nice. Like I see that you have a passion for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So which is awesome. Do you lean more towards cooking or baking, or does it depend on your mood?
So it's actually a really interesting question because when I first started this whole food journey and basically any interest in food, it was always for cooking. Like I would always tell everybody I cannot bake for the life. Like I cannot, you cannot put me in front of like a pot and make me bake something. Like it has to be something that interests me. And for me, baking, what I didn't like about it is that it would always require exact ingredients. Like if you put too much flour, it's going to change the texture of the cookie. If you put too less sugar, people are not going to want to eat it. Whereas for cooking, it's like I can just eyeball things. I can just do it based off of taste. Whereas for baking, once it goes in the oven, it's going to come out and be completely different.
Exactly.
So for me, baking definitely, cooking sparked an interest for me more because it was just, I could freeball it, I could do whatever I wanted with it. Whereas for baking, I didn't like the whole idea of like exact measurements.
The precise measurements and stuff. Yeah.
But now I'm starting to get more into it. So
that's awesome because I have tasted some of your cookies and some of the other desserts that you've made, and it's really good. You're welcome. And it's, because baking's a science. Everything has to be exact. Like 2 teaspoons baking powder is 2 teaspoons. And it has to be leveled. It's not like adding salt into something. You could put a little extra salt and it's no big deal. But you can put a little extra baking powder into like a cake or something and say no big deal because you see the difference,
Speaking of that, it's actually a funny story. The other day, like I said, I prefer cooking over baking.
Okay.
And I made these banana muffins. And in the banana muffins, I forgot to put butter.
Oh gosh.
So, and I wanted to make a healthier version of it.
Right.
So it already called for like less sugar, less brown sugar, whatever it was. But then I realized once I put it in the oven, I forgot to put butter in it. And I was panicking. I was, oh my God, like I know if I didn't put butter in it, it's not going to be moist inside. It's probably going to stick to the tray.
I know.
So I panicked. But then when they came out of the oven, like this is what kind of maybe sparked my hope a little bit in baking. Right, and it came out perfectly fine. So I was pretty shocked about that.
Maybe because also the bananas have like a sweetness, and it doesn't have like oils as such,
Yeah.
like butter, but lots of people who are into eating clean and diets and protein, they use banana. Like they'll make like cookies or pancakes with banana. They don't use any butter or oil in it.
Exactly.
So I think you got lucky on that. But
That's it.
because,
I was like Googling it. Oh my God, like what's gonna happen?
because even like my next question was that if you have had a complete disaster in the kitchen, like, you know, like, and then would you say that was it, or has that been worse?
Ooh, disaster in the kitchen. I think like in terms of cooking and baking, closest thing I've had to a disaster isn't based off of the food. Maybe like putting too much salt, but I wouldn't consider that a disaster. 'Cause
Right,
it can be fixed. But for me, the closest thing to disaster I've had is like moving a pot from one side of the stove to the other side of the stove with a towel in my hand, the towel catched on fire.
Oh,
Like
God.
that's what I would call a disaster.
Yeah.
For me, alhamdulillah, like nothing has happened crazy.
Nice.
Other than the baking incident, that
Right.
was definitely something. Like I remember when it happened, I literally took one of I put it in like these little cupcake cups and I took it out and I dumped it back into the plate. I was like, oh my God, like maybe I can just add butter in this. But at that point, it had already baked too much, so I couldn't do anything. But in terms of disaster, thank God I had not had
Okay,
a bad
good.
one yet.
It may it always be like that.
Yeah, it gives me some hope, you know, for my baking career.
That's true. So, you know, food blogging sounds like a very glamorous thing, right? But I know it takes a lot of work. And what's something that people don't realize about what you do as a blogger?
Yeah, the first one is that it'll take up a lot of storage in your phone. That's a big thing about it.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. I feel like a lot of the time, like when I'm recording content or something, the people around me will be like, "Oh my God, like, can we just eat?" But it's like, no, you know, like this. There's a purpose behind this, and maybe it's not going to pay off right now, but who knows? Maybe like a year from now, 6 months from now, you can have one reel that hits like 2,000 views, maybe even more than that, and 100 likes, and then from there it just grows. And what people don't realize about this is that it's not just something that you just post one thing and that's it. You have to put your mindset to it and you have to put time into it. If you don't put time into it, it's not going to get anywhere. Like if I were to just post like pictures of food, or if I was to just post a video and do maybe like once a month, like whenever I feel like it, then it's not going to grow. But if I'm posting consistently, if I'm, you know, if someone asks me a fun fact about myself and I tell them, oh, I run a food page, you have to be able to like advertise yourself. Absolutely. Too. You know, you have to be able to get yourself out there. If you're not able to do that, your page is not going to grow. But it is all about patience.
It is patience and also, you know, consistency, like what you're saying, you know, you can't just put one picture, one video, and then 2 weeks or 3 weeks later go back. It has to be like, I think with social media, people have to constantly see your presence. You know, they have to constantly see you. Oh, she's here now. Oh, she went there now. Oh, she's trying this. I should try that. So it's like you also have to excite the persons like in like the food interest, like the foodie people have to come out when they see the videos,
and
right?
Part of that excitement also comes from like the voiceovers too. You know?
Yes.
Like when I do my voiceovers, sometimes I'll do the entire thing and maybe it'll fail to post sometimes, but other times I'll do the entire thing and I'll be like, okay, I sound so monotone in this. Like I have to sound a little more energetic. You know? Like if it's something that you want to be committed to and that you actually want to make something out of, you have to be energetic towards it too.
Absolutely. Because it's also, I know it's when you're as a food blogger and say you're by yourself and you're going and you're doing your videos, then it's also patience. But when you're going with families, like, you know, we go out a lot and we go out to eat. And sometimes I could see the impatience in others' faces. They're like, okay, can we eat now? Like, but that's another thing, like for people starting out. Like you said, it does take a lot of patience, you know, and also like people on the other side, like if you go with family, they have to be understanding too, you know, like, okay, there's a reason she's doing this. She's just not doing it to like, you know, because she's building her page. She's building her blog, her profile. People have to get to know her. So it takes a lot of time, right? It's
a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of storage.
Absolutely. So do you have a bucket list of restaurants that you dream of dining at?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I actually don't. Surprisingly enough, I don't. I just kind of like I wouldn't say I'm a picky eater. So it's like wherever I go, if it's like a dessert shop or if it's a restaurant, if it looks nice to me, if it's gonna be interesting to me, I think it's gonna make good content, I'll report it. Even if it's something as little as just getting a drink or a croissant. You know, I feel like I can make something out of it. But as for bucket list, I wouldn't say I have one just because I like the spontaneity of it. I don't like planning it out and just, you know, like following it step by step. But I like the spontaneity of it. And I like to be able to just come up with something on the spot. You know, like for example, in one of my videos, my friend, Julia and we just took a train randomly to the city.
I saw that.
And I was like, you know what, like this would be a pretty cool vlog. Like let's do something out of it. So I did it, and like it was fun.
That was interesting. And I think it was that bagel.
Yes.
It was like a fruity pebble. Was it a birthday cake?
It was a rainbow bagel with birthday cake cream cheese.
That it was so like my mouth was watering just watching it, and it was beautiful. It was like the picture you took, the video that you did, it was really beautiful, and it was very attractive. So it's like I want to go there. That's the feeling that you want other people to feel when they look at your videos,
And part of it's having that support too. Julia was like, oh my God, like I'm excited to be in your content. It wasn't like, oh, like you're recording now.
Right.
So that also makes it different.
That's awesome. And who wouldn't want to do a food video, right? Like I know we are foodies. If you're a foodie, that's in our blood. It's not something you can force somebody to be a foodie. It's like you have the natural feeling of that. Like the thing is, like when you're a foodie, you have the passion, right? It's not like just taking your camera and just like, okay, screenshot picture, and then like no, like you're taking different angles, you're taking overhead shots and side shots, because you have the passion, and you could see that when you're doing videos, which I think is amazing. So I know you have dined out quite a bit. What's the strangest dish you've had, and did you enjoy it?
Strangest dish I've had would probably be, I think, okay. So here's the thing, right?
Okay.
Pakistanis and Sri Lankans are both desi, but they have completely different food. Okay. So for me, trying some Sri Lankan food for the first time was super interesting.
Really?
Like, when we went to Taste of Colombo, and then
that was in Toronto.
Yes, in Toronto, and it had what was it, like the intestines, like
the
stomach or something?
It's called barbet.
Yes,
and
barbet.
yes, barbet, and that is, I think, the intestines. Yeah. It was like I mean, I don't eat that either. Trust me, I find that strange, and I don't eat it. Yeah. So did you taste it? Did you try it?
Yes, I had it, but I just think the concept of some food is like very interesting. Like yesterday, for example, we went to somebody's house and we had squid. Mm-hmm. So it's like Pakistani people would never cook that in a dish because I just don't think they're aware. You
can do that with that.
So as for interesting, like the squid tasted amazing. Like, it was so good. Right. But it's just an interesting concept because if you asked me like 3 years ago, oh, are you gonna have like squid curry or something? I'd be like, squid curry. No. You have calamari. Exactly, you have calamari. But you won't have like a squid. So it is definitely really interesting. But a lot of people, when they think about it, they'll be like, oh, like these things don't go together. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly enough, it does go to, like, it's pretty good. Right. I think you just have to be able to like the taste of it. Like, me, like me and you, we don't like the taste of liver. Like, we don't like like the gamey type of stuff. Yeah. I think you just have to be able to like it, but it doesn't have a bad flavor. I just, because I'm not used to it, exactly. I eat it. Yeah. I know. But sometimes, like all my life growing up in Sri Lanka, my grandma used to make the same, like the barbet, and then they would make sweet bread, which is like, I don't know. I don't want to get into depths of what's sweet bread. It's far from what you think what sweet bread is. And I remember even quail. Like I remember looking at it and thinking, oh, they look like chicken, but why do they look so small? Like it's so tiny. And I tasted it and I did not like it. And I found that strange. And I was like, I can't eat this. But it's something that lots of Sri Lankans eat and they're used to it. But it doesn't fit my palate. Right. It's not something that I find like exciting to eat, even though some people love it. Like other countries too, like France, they escargot, like things like that. Things like, all those interesting things. Mm-hmm. I personally can't eat it. Like I can't even eat oysters. Like I can't with the fishy taste in it. Right. Like I just can't. Me neither. So. But it's like a really cool concept, like it doesn't taste bad, I think, for people who grow up eating it. Right. But for me, coming from the outside and tasting it, it's definitely different. Yeah. It takes a bit of getting used to. If you like the taste and you want to eat it. If not, you just say, no, thank you. That's it. Even like far from meat, like cashew curry. Like when I first saw it, I was like, what is this? Like I've never seen this. Yeah. But it tastes so good. Yeah. Your cashew curry is so good. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. I love cashew curry. Like I love it now. But if you asked me 3 years ago, I never even would have thought about cashews. It's like cashew butter, or they use it in like desserts or like vegan, for vegan recipes, but to make a curry out of it. But it's so cool. It tastes so good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So do you like to recreate recipes like at home? Like you've eaten at a restaurant and you're like, this is really good. I'm going to try making it at home. Do you like to recreate recipes? Yes. And I actually have a specific example of that too. Okay, so good. We were in Dubai this past summer and remember we went to Cheesecake Factory? Yes. And I had their truffle butter chicken or truffle chicken. Yes, just truffle. With the mashed potatoes and the asparagus on the side. Right. And I had that meal twice when we went to Cheesecake Factory that time and it was so good. I went home. The first thing I cooked when I went home was that meal.
Really?
It
Yeah.
was so
Wow.
I literally tried to look for truffle oil. It wasn't the best truffle oil, but I was like, I
Right.
need this now. Like I'm craving it. I need it now. And I got the truffle oil and I made it for me and Zeki, and it was so good. It just
Nice.
like that was the one meal where it was like when I had it out of the country, I was like, there's cheesecake factories here, of course, but
Yes.
we can't eat the meat from here.
I
That's not
know.
whole. So having it here at home, homemade, was like it hit so different. It was so nice.
Nice. That's good to
Yeah.
experiment with,
And
certain
also your
dishes.
food, like egg curry, I make that at
Right.
home. Kiri but the
Right.
coconut rice, I make it at home now too. So it's not just food that, I've had outside,
Right.
but also like Sri Lankan food that I haven't grown up eating or like grown
Right.
up cooking. Now cooking it at home is like
That's awesome. That's so good to know. Thank you. So what's your emergency meal? Like, like doesn't like if you're at school and then you come home and you need to have something and you just need to have something quick. You don't feel like ordering it out. What would you do?
So I have this cabinet in my house in the
Okay.
dining room that is especially for me.
Wait,
The
that's so
entire
cool.
the
Have
entire
you have a label on it saying Sumaiya's
No,
cabinet
but
or
everyone knows
everyone
it's
knows?
mine. Like my
Good.
matcha tins are in there, my tins are in there. So I have a bunch of Annie's mac and cheese just stacked up.
Okay.
It's like whenever I'm just like at home or like I just want like a quick meal
Uh-huh.
or I just want to eat something comforting, I'll just grab an Annie's mac and cheese and make it. And then sometimes I'll add like maybe some extra cheese into there.
Yeah.
Definitely not homemade,
Customize it,
but I
the
can
way you like it.
customize it the way I like it.
That's cool. I know it's something about mac and cheese.
Yeah.
It's such a comfort. Like, like I know making it from scratch is a whole other story.
Mhm.
But when you just have that box and when you're in a rush and you just want something on the spur of the moment, it's good to stock up on some of that.
It's the best.
And you have a preference. You like Annie's over like Kraft, any other brands?
Annie's is the best.
Really?
The Annie's is the best.
Nice. So good. All right, so let's talk about your blogging, right? Now, say you're going for a restaurant. How do you prepare yourself? And do you also go with expectations of that restaurant or do you go with an open mind?
So if it's invitation based, what I'll do is I'll ask them like what exactly they're looking for, what kind of content they're looking for. Sometimes I'll bring a friend because it's easier to do it that way. Prepare, make sure my camera light is charged, make sure my tripod is with me, all those things. Make sure my phone's charged as well. Make
Yes.
sure I have enough storage as well.
Absolutely.
And that's what I do to prepare ahead of time. But then when I'm there, they'll tell me like certain expectations. Like a month ago, I went to Zalem's grand opening.
Right, Parsippany.
Yeah. And the owner was, after I had finished making content for my page, she was like, hey, can you make some content about everybody else? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So, luckily I had light on me, I had my camera fully charged, and I just kind of like interviewed people there, It's just like, it's also following like what they want, because especially if you're being invited to a restaurant, you have to be able to have some flexibility, time wise and just energy wise as well. What you want to film is really important. But in terms of preparing ahead of time, I think yeah, just making sure my devices are ready to go, ready to be charged, having an idea of what I want to do as well, Like obviously, if you look at my camera, you'll see like 3-second videos of food. And then being able to, pair it all together. So like I don't use iMovie or anything. I was thinking about doing that.
Okay.
But sticking to just Reels right now and editing it through there is what I've been doing.
Okay. That's great. And then what is your process of taking those gorgeous pictures and videos? Like, do you have any tips for aspiring foodies that you would like to share?
Having a steady hand is very important. I actually personally don't have a steady hand, so sometimes like my food videos will take like 3 to 4 takes.
Right.
But also you don't want to have like one thing out of the kitchen and then 2 other things are still coming out. You want to have everything there. That way you could just get everything done in one shot.
Right.
Even if the food is not like scorching hot as it is when it comes out, you still want to be able to have all the food there because presentation matters.
Yeah.
And presentation is what people are looking for. Like people will love funny videos, everything, but if you're doing a video that basically encapsulates like what the restaurant is offering you and what the restaurant has, if you're doing an actual restaurant review, then you need to keep things neat, keep things organized, and just make sure that, you're also honest with it. You want everything in front of you. You want to keep it so that, it's straight and to the point. And the video should be long enough that if you do a voiceover, you can talk about what you thought about them. So that all is what matters.
Right. That's great advice. That's good tips. Have you had any awkward or funny moments while trying to take pictures of food or video?
Yes. when I have to record other people and ask for their opinions and stuff like that, it's like awkward because some of them will be like high school students or something.
Right.
They'll just kind of be like super awkward. I'll be like, guys, like lighten up, it's okay. Like, I'm just gonna take a quick video. I'm just gonna ask you a question, answer it. It gets harder the more people that are involved in it.
True.
But when you're just doing it yourself, it's super easy. Not that awkward at all. But yeah.
I'm sure you'd have had a moment where you're trying to video, you're trying to take that picture, and then say you're with Zaki or you're with some friends, and then they reach out and they grab a piece or something, and there you are with your camera, and you're like, put that back.
Yeah, that happened. Because a lot of the content I make too is not just of like restaurants. Like for example, I had an Eid party and I had recorded some stuff from there. And there were times where I forgot to record things. Like for example, when everyone was taking the dessert, I forgot to record. So I was like, okay, guys, like put your dessert back. I'm just gonna take a video really quick. None of them listened, and maybe like 2 people listened. But that's also like really important to me. I have to be able to get that.
That's, I think, one of the hardest things that you think you hit record. It's not, and you're like sometimes even I go through that. Like I'm pouring something, and it's that first pouring into, like, say, a cookie batter fall or a brownie batter fall, and your empty tray, and you think you hit the record.
Can't mess it up.
And once, what are you going to do? Scrape it back? You know what I mean? So that's that's tough. How to come up with your content ideas, especially when you're cooking or reviewing restaurants?
That's a great question. A lot of it, like I said, is just spontaneity for me. A lot of the food content I do, if it's not through invite, I don't plan it ahead of time. I just kind of, when I get there, I'm like, oh, okay, this would be good content, and I'll record. So I'll get like the outside, then I'll get the inside, I'll get the crowd that's there, then I'll get the menu, then I'll get the food, then I'll get like videos of me eating the food. So that's how I plan it essentially. Like it's not just, like planning it ahead of time. Like for me, there is really no such thing as planning my content unless, like I said, I'm invited. Like if I'm invited, then again, like I said, I'll reach out to the owner, ask what they want. Whereas if I'm just doing it for myself, I'll just come up with something on the spot. And honestly, like the most generic and easiest thing to do, which honestly gets you the most views too, is just you record videos of what you have and then talk about it over like a voiceover, That's the most important.
That's true. Like the natural.
Yeah. You just want to be natural with it. Like
exactly.
And the thing is, you don't want to act like it's forced. When you act like it's forced and you're sitting there and you're doing your voiceover and you're like too energetic too. That also comes off really weird. Right. You want to be able to have like that level where people aren't gonna think, oh, you're stretching it, Like, you're just doing too much. Right. You don't want people to think you're annoying either. Exactly. It's like there has to be like a balance in it too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. So along that theme, do you also feel pressure that you have to always post something exciting or picture perfect?
Yeah, especially because I'm in the mindset now that I want to do something out of this and I don't want to give up with this and I want to see it expand bigger and bigger and bigger. I definitely feel like I have an obligation to post maybe like once a week at the minimum. Right. So I have a lot of content like backed up in my phone that I'll post on occasion. Like for example, if I go somewhere, I'll post a video of the place I go to. But then maybe like a week later, if I don't have any content to post, I'll post like a picture of that food and be like, oh, thinking about this from then. Right. That's smart. Yeah. You have to be able to have some content like backed up, but yeah, that's what I'll do with it.
That's true. So talking about restaurant reviews, right? When you go to restaurant, when you do your reviews, is it mainly about the food for you, or is it about the ambience? Is it about the whole experience of it? What matters to you the most?
For me, the food is what matters the most because I feel like a lot of people, like in my opinion, at least when you see like the most rundown place, they have the best food.
Sometimes.
Or when you see like the biggest, nicest place, you probably think, oh, their food's gonna be so good, but it's just average food. So for me, food is the most important. Like in the beginning of my voiceover, like I'll mention, oh, the atmosphere here was so beautiful. I'll definitely mention that if it's worth mentioning. But for me, food is the most important thing.
I agree because like you can go, a place can look beautiful, right? And the dish can look really beautiful. But when you eat it and lack of salt or lack of flavor, it's not marinated like properly, and then it doesn't matter how beautiful the place is, right? Exactly. Like the chances of you going there are less. Yeah. So that's good. And have you ever had a meal that was so hyped, like overly hyped, where when you ate it, you're like, oh, this is it. Like I expected more.
I'm not going to do a meal. I'm going to do a drink.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of matcha.
Oh, I know. It's like Sumaiya, aka Matcha Ilyas.
My friends call me Sumatcha.
Oh, that's such a cute name. But that suits you.
Yeah. And so I love Blank Street's matcha.
Uh-huh.
Like the matcha I make at home, so I get it from Blank Street. Yesterday when I had the PB&J matcha,
Okay.
like everybody made it sound so good on
Mhm.
TikTok. It was actually just kind of like, man, like I was like drinking
Really?
it and there were like chunks of like cashew butter coming into my mouth. I was like,
Oh, wait a minute. So they make their peanut butter
it's cashew butter.
with cashews?
Yeah, it's with cashew.
Okay, so maybe for allergies,
Probably.
maybe that's why.
Exactly why.
Okay.
But it's like, why call it a PB&J when it's not even?
Right.
Like I think the concept of like creamy peanut butter without any like chunks of the actual nut would be nice.
Okay.
But it was just a weird
Really?
concept when I had it.
Wow.
I wasn't a fan. And then when I
And you're a
turned-
matcha, and you
I'm
tried like
a
I think
matcha
basically
too.
every drink there.
Yeah. And like when I lifted up the cup and I looked under, I saw like little like the, you know how the milk separates sometimes. I saw it and I was like,
Oh no,
I can't do this anymore.
You didn't finish it?
Yeah, I threw it out.
Oh,
Like, I
man.
but there definitely is some food that has been overhyped too.
I guess sometimes you just have to stick to that,
Yeah.
the one that you like, unless they're out of it or something.
Yeah.
Which I think they were yesterday when we went. Like I want to try the strawberry matcha,
Mhm.
right? The
Yeah.
strawberries and cream or something like that, and then that was out.
I
So
know.
yeah, I was because I know like I'm not a matcha person. Like I don't know how. Like so, tell me, talking about matcha, what is it about matcha that you love so much?
First of all, I like the fact that it's not crazy caffeinated. Like
Okay.
it is caffeine,
Mhm.
it's green tea, but it doesn't give me jitters. And like I get jitters really
Oh, okay.
easily from caffeine, like
Okay.
coffee wise. So I like to stay away from coffee. So matcha's a good alternative. But
Mm.
it's also just the color of it and just
Yeah.
the taste of it is just so smooth.
Yeah.
And there's just so much in it that like you don't feel like weird after drinking. Like
Right.
caffeine, when you drink it, you feel the jitters, like, you feel like super full.
Mhm.
Whereas with matcha, it's like it's like a light drink. Like it's good. It's so easy to customize. Like for example, with coffee, if you put milk in your coffee, it's kind of weird. Like if you combine like different flavor syrups, it's weird.
Right.
But then you look at Blank Street and they have a strawberry shortcake matcha. They have a peanut butter and jelly matcha, blueberry matcha. You can't do that with coffee, you know?
Right.
So that's also like a big part of it.
And even if they do it, sometimes the coffee, the espresso from it, it just overpowers those other
Exactly.
flavors, right?
Right. And with matcha, you can't go wrong. Like if you put 5 scoops of matcha powder, the taste stays the exact same. Maybe the caffeine dosage goes up, but the taste is the exact same.
Mm.
Whereas for coffee, if you put too much of the coffee,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too strong, it's
Yeah.
too bitter.
And then the caffeine factor too.
Exactly.
So
It's very versatile. So I like that a lot.
it's nice. So what's one hidden gem or underrated spot that you have done a review at, but most people don't know about?
I'm gonna do one that I haven't done a review at.
Okay.
Because I haven't been to it in a while.
Okay.
But like I said, the most rundown places have the best food.
Right.
And one of those places is Carmel Haifa.
What's that?
I believe it's in Morristown or
Okay.
I think it's in Denville. It's in Denville.
Okay.
Carmel Haifa. It's Mediterranean food. It's
Mhm.
like gyros, but
Really?
I remember I had it a couple of years ago. I've never had a gyro like that. It was
Wow.
incredible. I haven't done a review on it because I haven't been there in a while.
Right.
But every time we pass it, I'm like, wow, I just know like this is the best gyro I've ever had.
Wow. It's like, what is it about it? Like, is it like the flavor, the
It's
juiciness,
just the flavor.
texture?
I think the sauces also make a really big difference. Like, for example, everybody knows Kebab Paradise. Everybody knows Kebab
Right.
Paradise has like the best gyros.
Mhm.
And their sauce is incredible. Like, I love Kebab Paradise. When I was a kid, I used to live, breathe, eat everything Kebab Paradise. But now growing up, it's like having more places to check out. Most rundown places have the best food. And I think so many people could agree with me on that too.
I agree too.
Yeah, like you look at it, it's just like the food is gonna be so good there.
Because I think also the focus is the food.
Yes.
You know, it's not like having like flowers and lights and
Right.
and sofas and like that.
That's how
whole...
they're focused on their food. They
Right.
don't care about anything else. They
Right.
just are focused on the food. And I respect that a lot.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But I think a lot of the places that I've reviewed on my page
Mhm.
are pretty like decently popular places. Like people have been there before. Nice.
Let's play a quick little game here. Okay, there are no wrong answers. Let's just go with just tell me what your answers are. Savory or sweet breakfast?
Savory.
Pineapple pizza, yay or nay?
Yay.
All right. Me too. One food trend that needs to go. It's like Dubai chocolate and everything, but I don't want that to go. It's so good. Same with the
Honestly,
Nashville chicken.
I saw this thing. It was a Dubai chocolate burger in the go. I think
Dubai chocolate burger.
yes, it's gross.
How the heck do
Like
they
they
make
put
it?
like the kataifi with the pistachio mix on top of the burger.
No, they don't.
The Dubai chocolate needs to go. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, was that here or was it
No,
somewhere
I
in
just saw it
Dubai?
on like Instagram reels.
Oh gosh.
I don't want it to go before I try the Shake Shack one.
I know. Even Isa has been talking about
Yeah,
that.
but I think the
I
white
know. It's like
chocolate,
they're
it's
making everything donuts, but the burger I haven't heard of.
yeah.
That doesn't sound appetizing. I'm sorry. I know you mentioned this before. You gave me an answer, but if I had to ask you again, your ultimate comfort food.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Okay. So where do you see, Sumaiya, where your food blogging journey is going next? Do you have any big plans or projects coming up?
I do. I have been working on a website where I can basically split it up to pages like about me, places I've been to, and also just like I want to expand to more lifestyle blogs too. I don't want to make my food videos or just any of my videos going forward just about food. I want to make them more about like come with me on a grocery haul and like
Nice.
especially as like new chapters of my lifestyle, like expand my palette a little bit
Right.
and make it more broad and make it more than just about reviewing restaurants and reviewing food and more so just my lifestyle and what I do on a daily basis. And I want to expand a TikTok too. I think I definitely need to work on my TikTok a little bit. But yeah, that's what I want.
That's so exciting. Do you
Yeah.
have a name for your blog? Did you like to share with us?
I think it's gonna be the same, sumsventures.com probably.
Yeah.
I'm just working on like I had a website made, but things went wrong with the domain, so I couldn't really do anything with it. I was ready to go too.
Right.
But I just have to find like a new website now and transfer everything from the old website onto there, and then hopefully
That's good. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how it looks, And you're welcome. If I ask you, what's your favorite restaurant and what's the dish there and where is it located?
Kebab Paradise.
Oh,
Peru,
really?
Lake Hiawatha, Jersey. Chicken Caesar salad, but also Neptune burger. Neptune burgers and the chicken salads.
Wow.
I know it isn't like a chicken salad doesn't sound like much, but their chicken salad.
That good, huh? That's special because I know you've been dining there ever since you were little.
Yeah.
And for that to be your favorite, it has a special place in your heart.
Nothing
That's so
can go wrong.
Oh, that's so sweet. What advice would you give to someone who loves food but doesn't know how to start their passion with blogging and stuff? What advice would you give them?
If your mom cooks, watch your mom cook. If you're not in an environment of cooking, just Google it. Just Google it, learn from there, take it from there. If it's about blogging or vlogging food, go somewhere, take a video of it. One video can go a long way. You never know what'll happen with that one video. You post it and you'll be like, oh, you know what? This is kind of fun. You just keep going and going. But it's all about learning and it's all about being patient,
Absolutely. Sumaiya, it was so fun having you join me today and for me to get a peek in and for our listeners to get a peek into your world of food blogging and cooking, baking, restaurant reviews. And this brings us to the end of this episode of The Passionate Palate. I hope you guys enjoyed our fun and flavorful conversation and you could follow Sumaiya on her blogging and her food journey at Sum's Ventures on Instagram and TikTok. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and keep your eyes open for new episodes. I'll be bringing more interesting, delicious, tasty conversations and also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Passionate Palate. And thank you for being here. If you have any questions for Sumaiya or me, please drop them in the comments. And always remember, don't count the calories, count the delicious memories.